Okay, in this video, by suggestion of fellow nerd T.M. Martin, we're going to talk about Nightflyers after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and I have been sampling a new series, limited series, on the Sci-Fi Network, which is available in other places as well, and worth checking out, called Nightflyers. It's based on a 1980 novella by George R.R. Martin, and so this is something that it's been talked about being made into a television show for some time, and I was intrigued to see just what George R.R. Martin could do with it, considering his great success with Game of Thrones. This is no Game of Thrones. However, whether you like it or not like it might have to do with what you think about the genre. And we're not talking science fiction here. Although it does successfully do a science fiction show, it has excellent sets. It has a real claustrophobic feeling even in a huge ship. The lighting is in such a way that things are always kind of mysterious and foreboding. Although the technology looks futuristic, it's not over the top. You don't have too many colored lights. You don't have too many beeps and boops about it, but enough to give you the full feel of an advanced spacecraft. And according to the backstory on this, this is the most advanced ship that the Earth has ever built. Now, the backstory on it doesn't mean much. The planet is doomed. We got to go find something else. And that's essentially what gets them started. The driver of the plot, or the MacGuffin, if you will, is the Volcrons, who are an alien race that we've been trying to get in contact with, but they've not been interested in contacting back. So what do? We're going to build a ship. We're going to go and try to contact them directly. It's uncertain as to whether they really want to be contacted, but that's all part of the interest in this show. But what this show really is a horror movie. In the same way that Alien was basically a slasher movie in space, this is perhaps The Shining in space. Combine a little bit of Horatio Hornblower and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and every other horror movie you've ever seen, every other psychological thriller you've ever seen, every Hitchcock movie you've ever seen, and kind of put it all together into this 10-part series. Now, if you are a fan of horror, this may be something that you really like. I personally have never been big on horror pictures. I can appreciate them, but I don't get a lot of entertaining by a bunch of people who are all under suspect. I have not seen the entire series and would not give it away if I had, but the fact of the matter is that it leaves enough doubt in your mind that any one of the characters could be the problem. And it is there is enough complexity that you're not going to guess how it's going to come out. You're not going to be able to point to the person who does it, even though other characters were all the time pointing the fingers at each other as to what's going wrong on this ship. As some author said once, the way to write a novel is basically to put together a group of characters and then mess them all up. And they do that with some aplomb here. So if you're interested in this type of idea, this study of characters, of flawed people who are all meeting their worst nightmares. It's confusing, but if you like something that makes you think, if you like something that keeps you on the edge of your seat, I think this pretty much could do that for you. Once again, I don't find this to be, the kind of sci-fi I like to watch, generally speaking. It's been termed the anti-Star Trek. It makes me think of a time when I was in college. I was off in college, and one Saturday, a bunch of friends of mine and I got together, and I offered to drive them to the next the Dollar House in town. And in those days, you know, you could go to the movies for, I think regular movies were about, you know, $4 or $5 at that time, and discount movies were about $3. And every town of any size had a dollar movie house in which they showed second-run films. And the first time I ever saw Alien, it was in a double feature with Alien and Magic. And Magic was first, and Alien came on next. And it was an older theater and had a great big screen, and you were very much enveloped in it. The only thing that really took us out of it was the fact that the theater was old and kind of musty. But other than that, you know, the popcorn was good, and the movie did kind of give you some jumps. Anyway, the story about this, though, was that a group of friends of mine and I got together, and I said that I would drive. And so we get in the car. There's 5 of us packed into this car, and we take off toward the movie theater, which is across town. And we get there and find a place to park, and we're about to get out. And the guy that's sitting in the front seat says, you know, I don't think that this movie's going to scare me. And I said, really, why not? He said, nothing could be more scary than the ride up here. Do you know how many red lights you ran? If you like this video, like to see more of them, we'll be talking about more Doctor Who later this week. We'll also be bringing up other things as they come along. So we hope that you'll subscribe to this channel and hit the bell so you'll know when the next video comes your way. Once again, many thanks for the people who have subscribed so far, and those who have taken the time to post in the comments section. Thank you very much, and don't go far.